In the game of love, sometimes the smartest move is not making one at all. Silence, rather than pushing others away, can actually ignite curiosity and intense longing. This is not a wordplay or a manipulative tactic, but a subtle strategy rooted in Stoic philosophy, where self-control and patience take precedence. This video will explore the surprising power of silence and explain why taking a step back and giving the other person the freedom of space can make them yearn for your presence more than ever. Together, we will delve into the art of using silence to cultivate attraction and draw profound lessons from Stoicism to build strong and meaningful relationships. Before we embark on this journey to uncover the power of silence, I invite you to affirm your self-worth with me. Take a deep breath and confidently declare, "Silence is my strength." Let's spread this message with a simple click. Hit like so this video can reach and inspire more people. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That's an invaluable gift of support, fueling our motivation to continue creating and sharing meaningful content with you. Have you ever wondered why we often chase after those who seem uninterested in us? We spend countless hours thinking about them, trying every way to impress them, from orchestrated accidental encounters to endless messages and calls. It seems as though we are caught in a strange cycle where the more we are ignored, the more we crave to conquer. According to Epictetus, founder of the dating site A Little Nudge, this very act of being ignored unintentionally creates an irresistible allure. Do we tend to value those who don't reciprocate our feelings? Erica explains. Their indifference makes us perceive them as more valuable, and we strive to become worthy of them. Our brains also play a crucial role in this phenomenon. It is stimulated by the unexpected, by rewards that are unpredictable. When the other person suddenly texts or calls, our brains interpret this as a positive sign, a reciprocation of feelings. But in reality, they are merely dangling a bait to keep us chasing, with no intention of giving us the whole cake. Don't let yourself get trapped in this exhausting game of love. Remember, you deserve to be loved and appreciated. Instead of relentlessly chasing after those who are not meant for you, focus on building your self-esteem and personal worth so that you can attract those who truly serve you. Many people find it perplexing when I advise adopting a lazy strategy, the strategy of silence, which seems as though you're doing nothing. It can make the other person come back. This is because they don't understand that silence is the voice of dignity, of self-respect and self-worth. It is the language of mystery and rarity. Being silent towards someone you still care deeply about is not easy. Silence may seem simple, but in reality it is incredibly challenging because it tests your patience to the utmost limits of gain and loss. I must say, the strategy of silence doesn't work in every situation, but it is highly effective in many cases when trying to attract an ex back. And this is something I have personally experienced and witnessed countless times in real life. Of course, there is a reason behind everything, and I will explain why the strategy of silence can be so effective. We must accept that we are dealing with human emotions and life itself, a journey full of twists and turns. Never a straightforward equation. However, by remaining silent after a breakup, at the very least you don't diminish your own value in your ex's eyes, and you create the highest possible chance of getting back together with them. Imagine you're standing in front of a house where you were once welcomed with open arms and sweet words. Then suddenly the homeowner asks you to leave, pushing you out the door and slamming it shut in your face. If you keep knocking, crying, and begging them to let you in, "Give me another chance. I'll change. I'll bring you everything wonderful. I'll stand here until you open the door," you're only turning yourself into someone stubbornly clinging to the past. You become a person begging for love, stripped of dignity and self-respect in the eyes of others. In contrast, if you calmly face the situation, you would say, "I understand and respect your decision. I acknowledge that everyone has the right to choose their own path, and so do I. I cherish the memories we had, but I also know how to let go and move forward. I don't need to cling or wait for your approval to define my self-worth. The world out there is vast, filled with many wonderful things waiting for me to explore. I will continue my journey with confidence and freedom. By the time you realize my value, I may have already gone far and may no longer want to return. Be careful with your decision because time and opportunities wait for no one. So when you say these words with calmness and respect, you not only establish a clear boundary between the past and the present, but you also demonstrate your resolve and self-respect. This strength and resilience in your soul are what will make the other person reconsider, facing their own conflicting emotions. So when they watch you walk away, it is not the image of someone who has failed or is weak, but of someone who knows how to value themselves, who calmly faces life and understands that happiness does not depend on others. Being rejected, whether in love or in life, is like being pushed out of a door you once thought you would stay behind forever. In such circumstances, remember the teachings of Stoic philosophy. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Don't let fleeting emotions dictate your actions. Instead, calmly accept the truth and remind yourself that everything happens for a reason. Don't beg and don't try to do futile things to change someone's decision, as that only shows your weakness. A wise person knows when to stop, knows when to let go. Letting go is not giving up, it is choosing a better path for yourself. Don't let your life depend on someone else's approval. You are the master of your own destiny, and when you walk away with dignity, you become stronger, not only in the eyes of others, but also in your own. At that point, who is truly the one who has lost? When someone has just broken up with you, they haven't truly experienced what it's like to be without you in their life. Although the decision to break up might come from fatigue, disappointment, or a desire for freedom, it's often just a fleeting thought, a temporary decision they haven't fully comprehended the consequences of. If you keep pleading, trying to win them back, sending messages or calling them constantly to persuade them to return, they won't truly feel the cost of the breakup. They are going through an imaginary breakup, one in which they don't have to face the true sense of loss, because you're still present in their life, even if it's just through texts or desperate pleas. A real breakup happens when the person who made the decision realizes the full impact of their choice. That's when they must confront the complete absence of you from their life. There are no more good morning messages, no more phone calls to check in, and no one to share all their joys and sorrows with as before. They will have to endure being alone, facing the emptiness that you used to fill. For instance, imagine them picking up their phone in the morning, out of habit expecting a message from you, only to see the screen filled with mundane social media notifications or unrelated news. They will have to live with that reality, day after day, week after week, without your presence. This is the moment they start to realize that breaking up is not just about escaping a relationship, it's about losing someone who once meant something significant in their life. The true feeling of loss doesn't hit immediately after the breakup decision. It comes after enough time has passed for them to understand that you are no longer there. They will go through moments of weakness, looking at their phone 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or even a year later, and see that there is no sign of you, no calls, no messages, no posts lamenting on social media. That is a real breakup, where each person goes their separate way clearly and decisively. If you give your ex the chance to experience a real breakup, and they still don't want to reconnect, have never regretted it for even a moment after a long time, then it's a clear sign that your past relationship was not solid enough. Perhaps there was never a deep emotional connection between the two of you, or unresolved conflicts never got fully addressed. Trying to salvage such a relationship only leads to self-deception and prolongs your suffering. The truth is, if someone doesn't recognize your value after you've disappeared, They will never truly appreciate you, whether you get back together or not. Ask yourself if you really want to spend your life with someone who doesn't see your value and importance. A relationship only makes sense when both people cherish and appreciate each other. If your ex doesn't see that, you need to accept the reality that perhaps this person is not the one you should be looking for in your life. Instead of trying to fix a relationship that is already fractured, you should focus your attention and energy on self-improvement, finding joy and happiness from other things. Letting go and shifting your feelings elsewhere is never easy. It's like having to leave a familiar field where you've sown so much hope and love to start over on a new piece of land. It's a challenging process that requires courage to face new obstacles. But if you keep holding on, clinging to a field that has become barren and dry, you will only end up with disappointment and pain. For example, imagine you are a hard-working farmer watering and fertilizing your field every day. But if that land has dried up, no matter how hard you try, it won't become fertile again. Instead of exhausting yourself doing the impossible, you should bravely search for a new piece of land where you can plant your seeds of love and hope more effectively. Yes, it will be tough initially to start from scratch, but those challenges will make you stronger and more resilient in life. Sometimes you have to accept that not all relationships are worth saving. The end of a relationship is not a failure. It's an opportunity for you to learn and grow. Look forward and remember that happiness doesn't come from others' approval or affection. Happiness comes from knowing how to love yourself, respecting yourself, and striving to become the best version of yourself. Only when you achieve this can you attract and keep someone who truly values you, someone who is willing to walk with you on the list. So instead of trying to hold on to someone who has left, show them that you can live well, and even better, without them. This is how you maintain your self-respect and dignity, and it's also how you build a happy and fulfilling life for yourself. Perhaps this newfound confidence and strength will make them reflect and feel a sense of loss. So when they see you living well, happy, and full of energy without needing them, they may begin to question whether their decision to leave was truly the right one. People only truly value what they have to put effort into conquering. When you are no longer easily accessible, no longer the person always present in their life, you become a challenge, a goal they have to fight and strive for to win back. Imagine them facing the desire to win you over again, but this time it's the new version of you, independent, strong, and full of life. So they will have to think deeply, to ask themselves questions about the loss they didn't recognize before. The urge to conquer you once more can become very powerful, because people often desire what is no longer within their reach, what is not easily obtained. However, remember that whether they are determined to win you back or not, the most important thing is for you to stay true to yourself. Don't change or pretend to be someone else just to catch their attention. True attractiveness comes from within, from knowing who you are, what you want, and staying firm on the path you have chosen. When you live authentically, you will attract those who truly appreciate and love you for who you are. And if they want to come back, it should be because they recognize your true value, not because they fear losing a version of you that they only saw on the surface. In the end, those who remain silent just to wait for their ex to come back have not truly changed. They have already lost from the beginning, because their focus is not on themselves but on their ex. They are living in a state of dependency, waiting and hoping for salvation from an external source instead of from within. On the other hand, those who choose silence to focus on themselves, to continue living strongly, growing, and thriving despite adversity, consider getting back with their ex merely as a natural consequence of their positive and progressive lifestyle. They have already won from the very first moment, because they understand that reviving a relationship is not the goal, but a result of the process of self-improvement and personal growth. We do not attract what we want. We attract what is in alignment with who we are becoming. When you change, grow, and cultivate your inner qualities, you will draw into your life opportunities and people who resonate with the same frequency and values. This is the greatest achievement in this journey, not holding on or waiting for a relationship to return, but becoming a better version of yourself. That silence is not a sign of endurance or resignation, but a powerful pause for you to reflect, to explore uncharted aspects of yourself, and to rebuild from the ground up. It is the silence of someone who is preparing for new steps forward, for greater things that await ahead. Finally, if you enjoyed today's video, don't hesitate to leave a comment below to share your thoughts. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more exciting content. I will be back with many more interesting and valuable topics. Thank you and see you in the next videos.